2020-2021 Texas Bluebonnet Award nominee Charlie Hernandez in League of Shadows. Chapter 1. Myths, my abuela used to say, are truths long forgotten by the world, which is probably why she collected them the way that people collect stamps or mugs with pictures of kittens on them. She gathered tales of enormous horned snake-like sea creatures, of two-headed vampire dogs with glowing eyes, of terrifying man-eating ghouls that stalk the night searching for naughty children to kidnap. The myths came from all over the Spanish-speaking world, from Madrid to Quito, Mexico City to Buenos Aires. Most of them were hundreds of years old, almost as old as the cultures that had inspired them. Some had spread quickly around the globe, spread like wildfire. Others never even left the tiny rural towns where they'd first been told. All her life, my grandmother had been obsessed with Hispanic mythology, with all the legends and stories and folklore, and had spent years teaching them to me. When I was little, we used to hang out in the kitchen on lazy Saturday afternoons, me in my Power Rangers PJs and chancletas, my abuela telling her favorite tales from memory, making the epic battles and ghoulish monsters come to life with every gesture of her brown and wrinkled hands. Afterward, she would quiz me on what I've heard. We played this little game, sort of like Pictionary, where she'd draw a quick sketch of one of the characters, and I would have to guess who, or in most cases, what it was. If I got 4 in a row, she'd let me eat leche condensada right out of the can, which might have been the only thing I enjoyed more than listening to her stories. At the time, I thought it was all just for fun, a little cool game between the two of us, but I should have known better. My abuela hated party games. Chapter 2. I still remember the first night in the police station like it was yesterday. The tall sheriff's deputy telling me that everything was going to be okay and there was nothing for me to worry about, that they'd find my parents, promising me that. Then he handed me a chewed-up number 2 pencil, dropped a yellow notepad on my desk in front of me, and told me to write down everything I remembered. Told me not to leave anything out, not even what I was feeling. I'm not sure which was more embarrassing, the fact that I could barely hold a pencil with my sweaty, trembling hands, or that I didn't have anything to write. See, I wasn't there the morning my parents went missing. I was at the local guitar shop. I wasn't there the afternoon when my house burned down. I'd biked over to the zoo, Miami, for the day. So 45 minutes later, I gotten down only 2 words, but they were the truest words I had ever written. I'm scared. So scared I could barely breathe. So scared I could actually feel the blood pulsing through my hands and feet, but I didn't write any of that down. Instead, I sat frozen in a small interrogation room with tears running down my cheeks, waiting for the deputy to come back, waiting to wake up from this horrible nightmare. And that was when the pain came. It felt like 2 little bee stings up near my temples, hot and sharp, but lasting only for a moment. I remember running my hands through my hair and feeling something strange. I remember getting up and walking to the tiny half bathroom at the end of the hall for a closer look. I even remember the small squeaky sounds my sneakers made on the scuffed and dirty tiles. But what I remember the most was the pair of stubby horns I discovered growing out of my head at the sides. They were dark golden color, like honey mixed with dirt.